More about romance. I wish Bob were here. I could use some advice. I try to recall all the romance movies that we watched together. I remember the talking, the hugging, and the face licking. I'm not very good at this, but it's fun trying. Grooming. Is there anything sweeter than the touch of another as she pulls a dead bug from your fur? Talk. Gorillas aren't chatty. Like humans, prone to gossip and bad jokes. But now and again, we swap a story under the sun. One day it's my turn. I tell my troop about Mac and Ruby and Bob and Stella and Julia and George, about my mother and my father and my sister. And when I'm done, look away. Silent. Kenyani moves closer. Her shoulder brushes mine, and we let the sun soak into our fur. Together. The top of the hill. I've explored every nook and cranny of this place except for the hill at the far end where workers have been repairing a wall. They're finally gone. They left behind fresh white brick and a mound of black dirt. While the others laze in the morning sun, I want to explore the hilltop. They've been there before, and I have not. Everything is still fresh in my eyes. I take my time going uphill, savoring the feel of the grass on my knuckles. The breeze carries the shout of children and the drowsy hum of the bumblebees. Near the top of the hill is a low-limbed tree, the kind that my sister would have loved. The wall is endless, clean and white, stretching far down to the habitats beyond my own. It's high and wide and carefully built to keep us in and others out. That is, after all, still a cage. It rained last night, and the pile of dirt is soft to the touch. I scoop up a handful and breathe into my loomy smell. It's a rich brown color, heavy and cool in my palm, and the wall waits like an endless blank billboard. The wall. It's a big wall, but it's a big pile of dirt, and I'm a big artist. I slap handfuls of mud on the warm cement, and I make a handprint. I tap my nose with a muddy finger, and I make a nose print. I slide my palms up and down. The mud is so thick and hard to use, but I keep moving and scooping up and spreading. I don't know what I'm making. I don't care. I make swoops and swirls and thick lines, figures and shapes, light and shadow. I'm an artist at work. When I'm done, I step back to admire my work. But it's a large canvas. I'd like to get a better view. I go to the thick-limbed tree and grab the lowest branch, and I try to swing my legs. Oof! Oh, I land hard. I'm too big to climb, I suppose. I try again anyway, and this time I pull myself onto the first limb, gasping for breath. One more limb. Two. I can't go any further. Perched halfway up the tree, I see my troop still dozing contentedly. I take in the wall, splattered and splashed with mud. Not much color, but lots of movement. I like it. It feels dreamy and wild, like something Julia might have made. From my seat in the tree, I can see beyond the wall. I see giraffes and hippos. I see a deer with legs like delicate twigs. I see a bear snoozing on a hollow log. And I see elephants. Safe. She's far away, belly deep in tall grass with others by her side. Ruby! She's here, Stella, I whisper. Ruby's safe, just like I promised. I call to Ruby, but the wind tugs at my words, and I know she'll never hear me. Still, Ruby pauses for a second. Her ears spread wide like tiny sails. And then, with lumbering grace, she moves on through the grass. Silverback. It's a cloudy evening, chill and drizzly. Dinner's on its way, but I don't care. Excuse me. At night we sleep in our den, but I'm always the last to head inside. I've been inside long enough. This time of day there aren't many visitors, just a few stragglers leaning on the wall that separates us. They point, take a couple photos, and then they head over to the nearby giraffe. One of the keepers is beckoning. Reluctantly, I turn to go. Out of the corner of my eye, I see someone running, and I pause. It's a girl with dark hair, lugging a backpack. A man follows behind, racing to catch up. Who is it? Ivan! The girl yells. Ivan! It's Julia. I scramble to the edge of the wide moat that skirts the wall, and Julia and George wave to me. I dash back and forth, hooting and grunting, doing a gorilla dance of happiness. Calm down, says a voice. You're behaving like a chimp. I freeze. A tiny, nut-brown, big-eared head pops out of Julia's backpack. Nice place, Bob says. Bob, I say, it's really you? In the flesh? How? Where? I can't seem to find any words. George's job at the zoo doesn't start until next month, so he and Julia made an agreement. She's walking 3 extra dogs to cover my food. And get this, they're all poodles. You said you didn't want a home, I say. Yeah, Bob says, but Julia's mom likes my company, so I figure I'm doing everybody a favor. It's a win-win. Julia pushes Bob's head back inside her backpack. You're not supposed to be here, she reminds him. Ivan looks great, doesn't he, Jules? George asks. Stronger, happier, even. Julia holds up a little photo, but it's too far away for me to see. It's Ruby, Ivan. She's with the other elephants now because of you. I know, I want to tell her. I saw with my own eyes. We stare across the expanse that separates us. After a while, George pats Julia's arm. Time to go, Jules. Julia gives a wistful smile. Bye, Ivan. Say hello to your new family. She turns to George. Thank you, Dad. For what? For, she gestures towards me, for this. They turn to leave. The lamps that light the zoo pathways blink on, blanketing the world with yellow light. I can just make out Bob's little head sticking out of Julia's backpack. You're the one and only Ivan, he calls. I nod, and then I turn towards my family, my life, my home. Mighty Silverback, I answer. Oh my goodness. Guys, I loved this, and I hope that you got to finish the story too, to see this happy ending that now Ruby and Ivan are in a zoo and being outside and playing with other animals that are just like them too. And now they have a new family to start with. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'd love to hear what you guys thought about the one and only Ivan, because one, it's becoming a movie. Maybe we should go see it next year. And I believe there's a book by the same author called The One and Only Bob, and he gets his own story. I'm curious. Okay, bye guys.